So, when you guys asked for a deep dive on Man Adams, I gotta say, I didn't expect it to be so, literal.
Seems like our local mountain is making headlines.
Keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. Anyway, we're diving into, let me see, an article from the Seattle Medium just came out on October 11th. Oh, yeah, 2024. Don't want to forget the year. Title's a mouthful, though. Increased seismic activity prompts Mount Adams monitoring.
And it jumps right in. Mount Adams, Washington's biggest active volcano, apparently it's been having some, well, surprising tremors recently.
That's what caught my eye, too. It's not like, what, Met Rainier, she's got that reputation. This article, it says Man Adams usually only sees like one earthquake every 2, maybe 3 years.
And that's what makes all this recent shaking so, well, interesting, to say the least. September alone saw 6 earthquakes.
Whoa, hold on, 6 in 1 month. Okay, I know, earthquake country and all, but for a volcano, that's usually, what, taking a nap? That's got to raise some eyebrows, right?
Yeah, statistically speaking, it's definitely significant. See, every time the Earth shakes near a volcano, even a little bit, it's information, a glimpse into what's going on way down below.
Oh, right, right. So it's not always about how big the earthquake is, but what it tells us about what the volcano's mood swings.
Exactly. The problem is, right now, we're working with limited intel. The article mentions there's only one permanent seismic monitor near Mount Adams, and it's, get this, 6.5 miles away.
6.5 miles? That's like, what, trying to listen to a heartbeat from across town? No wonder they're rushing to get those new sensors out there.
Exactly. To really get a handle on what's causing these tremors, magma moving around, tectonic plates shifting, who knows? We need data points, lots of them. Think of it this way. Each earthquake, its location and how deep it is, that's a piece of a puzzle. The more pieces we've got, the clearer the picture.
And right now we're working with like a corner piece and a whole lot of empty table.
Pretty much. And without that complete picture, it's tough to say if this is just Mount Adams stretching after a long sleep or, if it's something bigger is brewing down there.
Okay, so more data, clearer picture.
Yeah.
Got it. But what about this whole high risk thing they mentioned? What does that even warn for a volcano? Like, should I be stocking up on canned goods and, those face mask things?
Let's tap the brakes on the doomsday prepping for now.
Okay.
The article does quote, who is it? John Major, scientist in charge over at the USGS Cascades Volcano Observatory. And he says, at the current time, there's no cause for concern.
Okay, well, that's good to hear coming from, a guy who knows his volcanoes. But high risk still sounds kind of, well, risky. What makes Mount Adams so high risk?
It's all about potential impact. The USGS, they had this system, right? It ranks volcanoes, looks at how likely they are to erupt, the kind of eruptions they're known for, and this is important, what's nearby. And Mount Adams, even though it's been quiet for a long, long time, it's got the potential to, well, really shake things up if it blew its top.
Okay, now I'm picturing like a disaster movie. What are we talking here?
Well, first off, there's ash. Remember Mount St. Helens? Shut down air travel for, what was it, days. A big eruption from Mount Adams that could blanket a way bigger area in ash. Could mess with flights, farming, the whole 9 yards.
Right, ash isn't exactly good for breathing or broccoli.
Exactly. And then there are the lahars.
Lahars, you said that before, sound terrifying, but remind me, what are those again?
Think like a volcanic mudslide. Hot rock, debris, water, all mixed together, flowing down the mountain like a river on steroids.
Okay, yeah, that's a step up from ash, and that's because of this high-risk label.
Exactly. It just highlights why keeping an eye on these volcanoes, even when they seem like they're asleep, is so important. Got to know what normal looks like for a volcano like Mount Adams so we can spot when things are, well, not normal.
So it's like we're setting a baseline, like a home security system, but for a volcano.
That's a great way to put it. The more info we have, the better prepared we are if or when things start heating up. And here's the other thing about Mount Adams being high risk. The impact, it could spread way beyond just, the folks who live right next door.
You mean it could affect people farther away, not just the people who live right by the mountain?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking transportation, agriculture, even the climate could be affected depending on how big an eruption we're talking about.
Wow, puts things in perspective. It's like a domino effect. One mountain rumbling could lead to a whole lot of other things rumbling.
And that's why this research, even if it doesn't mean an eruption's happening tomorrow, is so valuable. It's about understanding how all this works. That way, we can make smart choices about, well, the future.
It's like Mount Adams is sending us a postcard, right? And we're trying to figure out if it's a wish you were here or like, you guys better come get me, I'm about to blow.
That's the thing about volcanoes. They think on a different time scale than us. What we see is, sudden and scary, like all these earthquakes popping up. It might just be one tiny part of a much bigger story. A story that takes, what, decades, hundreds of years even to play out.
So this uptick in activity, are we seeing Mount Adams waking up here, getting ready to blow its top sometime down the road?
It's possible, yeah. Volcanoes, they don't exactly keep a schedule, but when things ramp up like this, it can be a sign. Think of it like this. You got all that magma deep underground, right? It's always moving, shifting around, these little earthquakes. Could be that magma pushing its way up.
Okay, now I'm really feeling better about those scientists and their fancy sensors. It's like we're getting a front row seat to a slow motion explosion, an explosion that's been going on for like forever.
Yeah, and the more data we get, the better we understand these patterns. Even if they take like generations to really show themselves, who knows? This research, maybe it helps us predict an eruption, maybe it helps us understand past eruptions better.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. We're just scratching the surface of understanding how all this works, all this power under our feet. But hey, the more we know, the safer we are, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about in the end, isn't it? This isn't just, us geeking out over some rumbling mountain. It's about using what we learn to make sure everyone is safe, especially with these massive forces of nature all around us.
Well said. And a huge thanks to the listener who sent us down this rabbit hole. It's a good reminder. The most interesting stuff, it's often right under our noses. Or, in this case, under our hiking boots.
Who knows what the next chapter holds for Mount Adams? We'll be sure to keep you all posted.
And until then, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep exploring. See you next time.